go. Hi, my name is Jo Joshi from DMCfinder. Today I am with Alba Events, both Stephanie and Amandine, to kind of have an update on why Germany could be perfect for your events going forward. It's kind of very informal, kind of a nice chit chat with the two lovely ladies. Hi Stephanie, hi Amandine, how are you guys?
Hi Jo,
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
No, great to have you on DMCfinder today to kind of have a catch up. So do you guys want to give me a bit of an update on your DMC and kind of what you offer and kind of what you're offering post-pandemic, and then we can kind of go into the questions that we've got prepared for today.
Sure. So we are Alba Events, and we've been on the market for 8 years now, since 2013. We're based in Berlin, capital of Germany. And what we do, we are a DMC, so we offer event planning to any clients coming from outside of Germany mainly. And our clients have mainly before the pandemic come from the UK, but also North America, and France is a big market for us, or used to be a big market for us as well. Benelux, a little bit of South America. And we have worked on any kind of events, from small little meetings to incentives to larger congresses. So anything,
real variety, isn't it?
Yeah, from maybe a VIP incentive with down to 17 people, but also up to several thousand people events as well, corporate events. Our clients are corporate clients. We do not work with leisure. Yeah.
Okay. And you also kind of started doing a little bit of virtual throughout the pandemic as well, haven't you? So how's that been for you guys?
True. And we have like everyone else, we had to switch in February 2020. And we started looking at a number of things. And one of the things were, how can we get into the digital market? And there we found a partner in Sweden. I am myself also Swedish, so I grew up both in Sweden and Germany. And they have an event platform. You can see it here in my background. It's called Invite People. And we are their official partner in Europe, actually. So there we're also trying to find more German clients, but we can work internationally. So it's basically an event platform where you can do everything from registration to streaming to networking to breakouts, exhibitor positioning, exhibitors. It's an all-in-one platform.
And is that just aimed in Germany for German clients or across the globe?
No, I mean, no, it's anyone in the whole world. That's the big benefit of it being virtual. But it also has a lot of hybrid functions. But we have been tasked with trying to find more clients first in Germany and neighboring countries, but we are going to move into other countries as well. So I know our Swedish partners have done events all over the world.
Perfect. Very exciting.
All over the world. Yeah.
Very, very exciting. Brilliant. Okay. So I've got a couple of questions for you guys today. Just kind of have an update on kind of post-pandemic Germany and the event sector. So question number one, how has the pandemic changed your way of working?
It has changed our way of working quite a lot. Like I just said, like for all other DMCs, agencies out there, all our projects were basically cancelled or postponed more or less from one day to another in February 2020. So we then had to take a decision. What do we do now? And are there any other projects that we can concentrate on that we didn't have time to do before? So one of those projects was to become certified as a sustainable partner with Visit Berlin. That's the official convention bureau or tourism board in Berlin. And they have a program where you can do this. So we started this work in, I would say, summer 2020, and we're certified in May 21.
Fantastic.
And this whole process, because it was really a long process, led to many positive changes as well, because sustainability to many people is just having green energy and less waste and so on. But it also goes into many other aspects of your company. So we then also soon understood that in order to survive as a company, also post-pandemic, and to be able to attract good people, we need to make some bigger changes. So
absolutely,
we also figured out, which I think we knew before, but we kind of ignored it because there was always work, but it wasn't really sustainable the way we worked before. It just led to an extreme amount of unpaid hours, unpaid work. So we decided then in spring this year that from now on we really need to be remunerated for our work. And any other industry would ask, why haven't you done that before? But it's kind of a thing within the DMC and agency world that you work a lot for free. So from now on, we need to be paid for our work, for our knowledge, and also our network, our contacts.
Exactly.
So what we do now is we apply an open book policy, and we offer complete transparency towards our clients, all our stakeholders, basically clients, suppliers, and partners. And this means that all the prices we communicate are net prices, excluding markup. And the work we do, we charge per hour or in a fixed fee, depends. And that work is everything. So it's the preparation and the research done for a potential proposal, as well as the planning once we have been awarded the event, and also the on-site and the post wrap up as well. So all of that has to be paid for.
Absolutely. And how are you finding that going with clients at the moment?
Well, different. Some clients are accepting it because they have gone through the same process. Other clients are surprised and say, well, this is not the way it worked before, and we can't afford it, because they in turn, that said, we obviously, or not obviously, but we work a lot with agencies. So we don't always work with the end clients. And when the agency comes to us, they've already agreed on something with the end client, and they then have difficulties to go back to the end client and say, okay, we need more budget. So it's a long process, but we're hoping that this will lead to both the end client rethinking, and also being aware of the fact, because sometimes I think that the end client is not aware of the fact that when they go to their favorite agency and for instance, and say, oh, we're thinking about this incentive next year, and we can't really decide. We're thinking maybe we'd go to New York, or maybe also sunny destination. How about Crete? And then maybe also, oh, Berlin sounds exciting. Oh, and then maybe just throw Paris in the mix as well. And the agency is like, okay. So they then go and contact DMCs, and because they don't want to contact only one DMC, or so they contact maybe 3 DMCs in each of these destinations. Of course. So now what we have, 5 destinations times 3 DMCs. So we're talking about a lot of companies and people, and all of these DMCs in turn ask all of these suppliers. I mean, they are sometimes double. It's also very embarrassing for a DMC to call a supplier and they say, oh, you're the 5th agency or 5th DMC calling. So we're putting all these people to work for nothing, because it's not, I mean, nobody can guarantee that this
is going to pay off.
This is going to pay off, and that Berlin, Paris, New York is going to be rewarded the business.
I totally agree with you.
So we're hoping that this will lead to more understanding, and that end clients will think and maybe decide and before and ask for more of an overview, maybe only. And then when they finally decide for the destination, they've decided, and then the agency can decide for the DMC, and it's more.
And also, I think it's a great way of also building up DMC and client loyalty as well, isn't it? Because you know you've done one event really well, and there'll be other smaller ones or bigger ones in the future, so they know that they're going to get the service that they know that they pay for at the end of the day. I think there's a lot of DMCs out there that are offering, and a lot of over the pandemic, that tour operators that have converted into DMCs that aren't able to provide the full service, and then when clients are using them, they're really disappointed at the other end, and they paid lower fees for it, thinking they're going to get bargain. But at the end of the day, you're totally right in saying DMC puts its blood, sweat and tears goes into doing from the proposal stage to the end product and creating, executing the event. clients need to understand also the time and effort that goes into it. It's not like it's not useless. It's not just one transaction and it's done. It's a whole year's worth of a process before you get to the event, and that takes a lot of time and preparation from you guys, which you spend day and night kind of making sure that event is executed properly. And definitely, I think you're totally right in saying going forward post-pandemic, these things why we used to work in the past have to change for it to work better going forward into the future. For all of us in working in travel and hospitality across the board.
I mean, we have no problem preparing a brief overview or a recommendation.
Yeah.
And maybe agreeing on a very small fee for that can be partially reimbursed later. But to preparing full-blown proposals where we have to ask for proposals from all our suppliers as well.
Pitching with other destination, 5 other destination.
It's
a no-go.
And that needs to change. And any other industry, it's absolutely normal to pay for
take your sales before you even get anything, right? Totally.
Yeah.
But are you finding now though that clients, when they're coming to you guys for a request, is budget still key, or is it more kind of making sure the event is executed and planned properly?
I think it's always in the beginning. The budget is a big discussion, and I think they are obviously wanting the best proposal, which sometimes leads to a proposal that maybe doesn't hold the whole quality. But then we notice once the client has decided, then there is more budget usually, because then they do want it to be more of a higher quality. But it is also the other thing that I hope will change is it is also almost impossible and very difficult for us to work without a budget. So if the client's not able to tell us what the budget is, then we're working completely in the dark. Blindly. I mean,
totally.
Then we offer something, they're like, oh no, this is completely out of our budget. Well, you said 4 or 5 star hotels. Now you're saying this is what is your budget? Oh, that's rather 3-4 star. So
I agree.
That also leads to more hours. I think if we charge for these hours, I hope this will also lead to that everyone is more clear on what they want and more transparency, have more transparency
and what to expect.
From the beginning, isn't it?
I would like us to work on eye level and as partners. Then we perform our best, and the client will get the best from us as well.
Absolutely. I think definitely post-pandemic, I think DMC is an extension of the client's kind of sales office, really, aren't they, in the destination? So they should use your services and collaborate and work effectively and in partnership to make sure that their event is successful, because ultimately it is their event. No, very interesting. So going on from there, so what are the kind of some of the MICE trends that you are seeing in Germany at the moment going forward?
Well, Stephanie already spoke about it. I think the drastic trend is sustainability. As Stephanie already explained, we are a certified sustainable partner with Visit Berlin, the convention office of Berlin. And so we have implemented a clear sustainability management system into the company, which is externally certified with annual audits. And well, we are not the only ones, and thanks to this common effort, Berlin is listed for the first time amongst the top 10 sustainable event destination in Europe.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? That's great. So what are you able to offer in the way of sustainable events? Is that like team building or venues that are eco-friendly, or kind of projects that you use are sustainable, recyclable? How does it work?
Well, we work with sustainable partners as venues. There are like many now already already certified as sustainable. You have already a few. I mean, we're working exclusively now. We have decided to work exclusively with sustainable catering companies.
Okay.
We are trying to, or we want to. We're not going to work with plastic anymore.
Okay.
Plastic will be forbidden on our events.
Okay.
We also try to offer sustainable team buildings. Like we're working with a company who offers musical team buildings with instruments made of things found on the streets.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
There are many ideas, and also to try and keep everything together so that the hotel where the guests are staying is not too far away from the venues and the restaurants and the activities, to be able to do more in walking distance. And if we have to use transfers, that we limit that as much as possible.
Fantastic.
And unfortunately, there are not that many transfer companies yet, but that will come, that are not using gas or
right. Okay. Yeah.
But so there and also
lots going on.
Yeah, sourcing local.
Yeah, perfect.
Not bringing in stuff from all over the world.
Asia, for example.
Regional.
Yeah. Seasonal.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I think, and you guys have amazing organic food in your country anyway, don't you? Really, which is grown on land. So you're very lucky. Not like the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, no, fantastic. Thank you for that, Amandine. Appreciate it. Okay, another question. Can you give us some highlights on some key destinations within Germany, which would be kind of great for events or incentives or team building?
Well, I mean, beside Berlin, which always be the alternative, innovative, vibrant capital, you also have Munich, where tradition and modern meets. You have an amazing destination, which is Hamburg. It's an exciting and attractive metropolis. We tend to forget it, but it's the biggest port in Europe.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it's also the combination of history and innovation.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the gateway of the world of music. I mean, the Beatles made their first record in Hamburg.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. I learned something new today.
Yeah, you see? And that's also the third biggest city for musicals in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
And,
that's interesting, isn't it? So you could do something with the theatres and stuff for like a team building or kind of.
Exactly. You can have a look at the coulisses of the shows. Yeah, that's something you can
go behind the scenes. Yeah.
That's really interesting, actually, isn't it? It's a great idea.
It is. And of course, I mean, the classical music is huge.
Yeah.
Because with the Elbphilharmonie concert hall, which is compared to the Sydney Opera House. So you can offer a full musical program.
Everything, fantastic. And you've got a plethora of kind of amazing venues across Germany as well, across Berlin. They're all very different and very unique. So there's always something to kind of suit everyone's taste as well, isn't there?
Exactly.
Absolutely. I mean, what one tends to forget about Germany is it has so many different regions.
Absolutely.
You have everything from the city to wine country behind Amandine now, for instance.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I'm looking at it thinking I need to be there.
Yeah, and that's the south of Germany, and also you have smaller destinations, larger destinations, harbor, the Baltic Sea, and the rivers. So there's really and mountains. You can go skiing as well. I mean,
so
not
much
the
you
largest
can do.
ski resorts, but
yeah.
it's available, isn't it? It's there. No, brilliant.
And we tend to, I mean, we want also to promote the secondary destination, those secondary destination, because I think that's also, I mean, people are looking for something different. I mean, they've been to Berlin, they've been to Munich. Maybe not to Hamburg yet, but they will. But also we want to bring them to the countryside, to Stuttgart.
Absolutely. I think you're totally right, because I think at the moment the way clients are traveling, it has changed for the moment. So they want to get out of the city and come a little bit further out to the countryside. So I think it's just for safety at the moment and kind of state of mind. But it's a great way, because you guys have got so much to offer in your countryside with retreats and different types of venues, which could work for a meeting for 20 people, as well as kind of do an incentive or something while they're there. Go for wine tasting. And you can put together some great programs, but it'd be great to kind of see what clients do going forward. Definitely especially for the next 12 months. I think it'll be interesting as they start traveling further afield.
And I don't think, I mean, the exotic destination will come back, but I think people, I mean, they don't want to be amazed anymore. They want to live a human experience.
I think totally right. I think I totally agree with that. Absolutely. I think clients just want to feel like they're happy to be out there, and they're happy to be out in a different destination. And feel quite lucky, I think, and grateful, isn't it? Because they've been stuck in their own countries for the last 2 years, to kind of be able to travel, which was before just like a normal thing to travel like once a month or whatever, to not traveling for 2 years. It's a long time. Also, it's gone really quickly. We forget how long it is for a lot of people who do travel like once or twice a year. But I think you're totally right. I think it's going to be very kind of interesting for the next 12 months, how clients are going to travel and book events overseas. Fantastic. Moving on from that quickly. So what are the updates on the venues in Germany that you can share with us? Are they new openings, changes, what they've done on the sites and on the venues, what they expect from the clients?
Well, a lot is changing actually, but I picked 3 main news. I mean, the Marriott International has bought the Maritime Hotel, for example, in Berlin. The hotel is run at the moment under the name of Berlin Central District.
Right.
And will start as a GW Marriott in Berlin in 2022.
It's a large hotel.
It's
a large meeting, convention hotel.
They will, I mean, they will do huge renovation. They will transform the exteriors, entrance, public spaces, facilities. They have above 500 rooms, and they have one of the biggest ballroom in town. So it's going to be one of the nicest.
It was always very, very traditional, because it was a German chain before. And not very exciting, so we're hoping it will have a bit more excitement.
Yeah, cool. A bit more contemporary.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
We have also Munich, who has finally opened in June this year, after 12 years of project management and construction. The Motor World, which is the place for mobility lovers. You have under one roof 25 of the world's more exclusive vehicle brands, events location, 22 conference rooms, and a beautiful contemporary hotel, the Ameron, with around 150 rooms.
Oh, fantastic.
So you can do everything around automotives and mobility.
So has it
sustainable mobility?
Has it got then roads, like windy roads, kind of, so kind of like automotive companies like to have a bit of like stretch of like road to kind of drive and showcase their cars and stuff, like kind of around the hotel or around that area? No? Yes?
I'll answer. So the question is if there are roads that where you can do driving experiences and stuff.
Exactly.
So I think there are like open spaces where you can do really like the where you can drive on wet surface and do the quick turns and everything. But then you have the surroundings. You have the mountains, and you can go outside.
Okay, great. Okay.
And through really beautiful nature.
You can do that. I mean, you can do those driving experience around Munich, but you can also, do that around the Black Forest.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is well known for the driving experiences.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But there are also some tracks where you can go as well. Yeah.
Okay. Fabulous.
Yeah. And the last one would be in Hamburg.
Okay.
They have they will have a new cruise center, which beside the primary function of the cruise center will offer outside, of course, of the cruise operation, an amazing venue for around 800 square meter for events with a maximum of 700 people.
Yeah.
It will be centrally located in the middle of the Hafen city, and with a direct view on the Elbe River and the harbor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that sounds very nice, doesn't it?
So Hamburg that's where most of the cruise ships arrive.
Oh, the dock. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the port. So that's the new cruise center can be used for events as well.
Okay, that's interesting as well, isn't it? Very interesting. So at the moment, in the hotels, do you still have to wear masks around Germany indoors, or how does it work?
Well, it's the problem, but Germany is decentralized, so there's no rule for all of Germany. So each part of Germany have their own regulations. So it would take long for us to give an update on every single part of Germany and their regulations.
Yeah.
In general, we can say that yes, you have to wear a mask still. In most parts of Germany, some are less strict at the moment, but in most parts. And we apply to events, theaters, and concerts and so on. The event planners usually implement either, we call it the 2G rule, which is the G stands for either you're fully vaccinated or you're recovered.
Right.
But then there's also the 3 rule, which means that you're either vaccinated, recovered, or you have a negative test.
Okay.
And at the moment, you either go for the 2 where it's stricter, so if you're not vaccinated you can't come in,
right.
Or some say no, if somebody cannot vaccinate for some reason, then at least they need to show a negative test.
Right. Okay, makes sense.
But there's also some event planners that want to be very sure, so they look at if you're vaccinated or recovered, and also want a negative test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, regardless of the fact that you have been vaccinated. But that's kind of up to the planner.
Right. Okay.
So it's opening up more and more as well.
Good. Okay.
Like the rest of Europe, it's possible to have large events. That's possible, but there are regulations to follow.
Yeah.
Germany, all over Germany, what's required is that you prepare a hygiene concept for each event. And there are obviously in all these situations, experts emerge. So we work with experts that have become experts on preparing these hygiene concepts because there's so much to look into and a lot of paperwork to fill out and to consider. So usually you start with a hygiene concept a few months before the event, and then about a week before you adapt it to the current regulations.
Right,
it's nothing you don't need to hand it in to any authorities, but if an authority comes, you need to be able to show it.
Right, okay, makes sense, doesn't it?
So it's all about keeping how the distances are kept, and what regulations, or if you looked at vaccinations or tests and
Fantastic.
All of that.
Brilliant. Okay, so I think it's the same across the globe at the moment. So even like for UK, I was in Italy last week, and it's the same. It's making sure you're covering your guests and your kind of health and safety inside wherever you are. No, but it's good. What about coming into the country? Has the requirements changed again, the regulations with PCR tests, or is it kind of if you're double vaccinated, you don't have to have a PCR test? I know from Europe now that you just need to have a test on the way back if you're double vaccinated, but if you're not, then you have to have all the tests before you come in.
Yeah, it's like in the UK. It's different for each source country, basically. There are very few countries now. I haven't actually looked at the list for long, but I think there's just very few countries where it's not possible at all to enter the country. Then there are some countries where Germany requires a PCR test.
Yep. Okay.
And a quarantine.
But then most countries are allowed in again without anything. Yeah.
Brilliant. No, it's exciting, isn't it? It's slowly opening up this light at the end of the tunnel now, isn't there?
Yeah. Hopefully it stays like that.
No, I'm sure it will. I think you've given us a brief update on the current restrictions due to the pandemic as well, kind of going forward already. Now you covered that really, but anything else you guys want to add in reference to your DMC or Germany in general?
No, I think maybe that we've noticed that everything's much more short notice, and that's okay. But it is at the moment very difficult to work on short notice because it's hard to get proposals from our partners. A lot of them are understaffed still. And we also have to do our research because some hotels have closed and some have changed owners and so on. So there we just asked for more time, or we will need more time to prepare a proposal. And also maybe to also build in an amount for the hygiene concept. So not to forget that will also cost a little bit of money to prepare. And other than that, no, we're
it's also, I mean, I'm jumping on that. It's I mean, suppliers are understaffed, but it's also part of our sustainability work. We don't want to put people under pressure anymore. We want to give the people the time to be able to work on our request, not to have like 24 hours to deliver a full
proposal. No.
Well, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly, and we will not do that either. But we are also very open about it. So the minute we get a request, we will ask a lot of questions back.
Yeah, good.
And for us to be able to prepare something that makes sense and has high quality. Then we will put down some requirements.
No, that's good, isn't it? That makes sense, doesn't it? Covering yourselves going forward. No, but brilliant. Thank you guys for a great catch up and update on Germany.
Thank you, Jo.
Pandemic. If anybody's got any questions for Stephanie and Amandine, please do drop us an email or contact us on the website. We'll be more than happy to help. Any advice as well, like ladies will be more than happy to help with what's going on in different state with what you're interested in. But thank you again, ladies. Great catching up, and we'll see you guys soon.
Have a good one. Seeing you soon in Germany.
Care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.